Hey guys, Shrimp Wheels here. I wanted to show you my giant automated smeltery with Tinker's Construct. I'm doing this here on our Sky Factory 3 server. So yeah, I'll just have you guys take a look. And pop up some armor because I want to fly. Everything we do is in survival, so there's no creative mode or anything in this. So in here it is. This is my smeltery. So it is massive. It's covered in lava. It's got 3 switches, kind of a main kill switch. It's got a couple different types that can do. So first and foremost, I do have a kill switch here where I can just turn the entire thing off. Then nothing gets created. The lever is on. It just turns off the redstone clock. So there you go. When the lever's off, that's actually on now. And so now it's taking things from the actual, taking things out of the controller and then actually making them into little blocks of glass or whatever else. So I've got a couple different options here for it. So I've got this lever over here is for cobblestone. And so I can turn that on and you'll see the controller start to fill up with cobblestone, but I've got way more than I need, so I'm going to not do that. But you can see it fills up, and I can fill up tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of cobblestone, like lots and lots of blocks. And that will then turn into seared stone in here, and then that will pump out into a chest I have on the side. So that's lever I guess 2. The other lever is now for glass. So I can turn this on, I can have this pump in some glass for me, so I got some sand into here, and then the sand gets smelted down into this molten glass. So lots of cool stuff there. I'm on the very bottom level of this Sky Factory server, so there's always little slimes coming after me. So if you see me stop to murder a slime, don't mind me. So here's kind of the way this thing works. I've got so we saw below here this lever with the redstone clock. That clock goes around. Every time it hits a full circuit, it basically sends a tick to this redstone dust on the ground. Each time the redstone dust hits something, which right now not the stone because it's doing glass right now. Every time it hits something, it pulls in and fills up the basin. Let's see, here's glass. That's what I'm actually working on. So once this glass gets filled up and then gets just solidified, goes away, fills up again, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. So all these are until basically it's all done. So right now I've got glass in the bottom there. We saw that. So I've got some seared stone. I could swap it out if I wanted to. Doesn't really matter. And then I can just kill the whole thing. And so now nothing is doing anything. It's all just kind of waiting there for me to do something else. It is connected to a reactor, so it's using power and stuff like that. So sometimes I just try not to kill all of it, but yeah. So here's kind of the gist of this thing. So I found that you can make a smeltery pretty much as high as you want. I don't think there's a limit to the height you can make. So of course I had to go and shrimp craft it as big as I possibly could. And I used seared gauge for the walls instead of just the seared bricks because you could fill them up with lava and stuff like that. And then I don't really want it to look like just bricks. I want it to look like lava because this is like it's like an evil fortress type thing or something like that. I don't know. And so I actually even went outside and went up above the ceiling there, so it sticks out of the top a little bit. I may go higher. I don't know. I guess got kind of bored with it, just making all this lava and stuff like that. That was like the longest part was the lava. But then on the back, this is kind of how this works. So I've got a few things here. I've got 3 cobblestone generators. The first one is going into this hopper, tier 5 going into the hopper, and then goes into a crucible. So it's with lava underneath it, making lava, and then dumping it into my tank. So I've constantly got a good flow of lava going in there. So no matter what I'm cooking, I never run out of lava. Pretty good. I've got this cobblestone generator here that is basically pumping out into this conduit that you see on the bottom level there, and that puts the cobblestone into the controller we saw earlier. Now, I've also got this conduit connector set to extract with a only active on redstone signal. So anytime I hit that switch, this redstone powers up, turns that on, which then sends cobblestone through this conduit up to the front to then get smelted into seared stone. Now the other side over here, I've got a cobblestone generator tier 5 here that is connected to a crusher. So cobblestone goes into the crusher. Crusher says, all right, there's that. Now you're gravel. Sometimes it goes right from cobblestone to sand, not quite as often though. So I've got 2 setups here. So cobblestone into the crusher, crusher puts out gravel. Okay. Well, gravel you can't smelt. So now the gravel then goes down into this crusher below it, right there, and that crusher takes the gravel and turns it into sand. So here, let's fire this up so we can kind of see it working, I guess. So gravel gets crushed into sand. Cool. So then, and you can see that's going there. This is just constantly making gravel. Again, every once in a while, just throwing out some sand. Now I've got a basic item filter on this first crusher that blacklists any gravel. So out of here, it never has gravel coming out. So I've always got sand coming out here, which then comes down there to this bottom level, which then goes back up to the very front where that controller was. Same as this cobblestone. Then same thing with this bottom crusher. So this bottom crusher has a filter on the bottom of that so that it never takes in, not on this one, it's the other side. It never takes in any sand here, so we don't get sand crushed down into like dust or something. So it will always take that. So then the sand comes from here up into this conduit. Again, that's that same one that comes here, there, and there up to the front. So this thing is constantly just pumping out either gravel in, there's a sand, gravel into sand or sand into glass, just pretty much constantly. Let me rephrase that. Cobblestone into gravel, and then gravel into sand, then pumping it out to the front there. So then this other conduit up on the top here comes from the front. So every one of these basins here has an item conduit attached to it, and they all pump back around here and kick over into this colossal chest that's in the side over here, which I don't think you can see. Let's see, get to it. Colossal chest. And if you guys haven't messed with these things, they are amazing. This is a 5x5x5 chest. All of this stuff is my space. I can just keep going for pretty much forever. Like it just goes and 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 goes. I've got so much room in here for stuff that I'm doing. And it's all just going to be glass and seared stone. So I've got the computer system set up upstairs. I just didn't want to overload everyone else's stuff with my stuff because it's a bunch of friends on the server. So I spared them my seared stone and glass crap. So I've got this thing going. This is turned off. So if I turn this on now, we should have a bunch of sand starting to build up. So if I turn that on, we'll see, if I can go forward, we'll start seeing the glass getting filled up again. This one seems to be having some sort of an issue. So let's clean this guy out. Yeah, so it had a block in it, but it didn't recognize it. I don't know, that was weird. Cool, there you go, back in business. These two have partially seared stone, so they're not going to go until the glass runs out and the stone starts coming in. And then over here, what I've got, so here's one of the reasons I wanted to have this thing turned off and on. Let me turn this off. Let me stop everything. And inside this thing, something died in there, I guess. I don't know, I can't tell what else it'd be. So if I want to get this blood out of here, there's no other way I can do it other than basically filling up, trying to fill up a bucket. Yep. So typically I would fill up this thing with some blood and whatever. Nope. All right. It doesn't want to come out. So that blood's there forever. Yeah, that's going to be blood. Cool. So anyways, that's my thing. I've got cobblestone. I've got glass. I've got full power off and on, all done pretty easily. And the hardest part was figuring out how to kind of get things to work and kind of keep things hidden because I've got this item conduit facade because I don't want to see it. How to make it gigantic, how to make it automated. So if you have any questions about any of this, you want to see more detail, you want me to go slower, just talk a little slower and stop mumbling, I can do that too. But if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, thanks.